Oh man. Hello there, viewers. Welcome to a new Let's Play with me, your host, Tim. And today, we're gonna start dying repeatedly in Intravenous 2 together. There's gonna be some prep here that you can skip, but I just in the slider up here on YouTube to the appropriately segmented spot. In case you don't want to hear me prattle on about this game for maybe like 8 minutes or so, we're gonna talk a little bit about before we get going, what type of game this is, how far I got in it, assuming we've played it before, what inspired me to play this game or particularly record it for my channel, and any weird stuff I'll be doing as we play this game together that maybe other people don't do, which I think the fans of my channel, I can't pronounce the word I want to use, colloquially, I messed that up, referred to as Timisms. So here we go. Intravenous 2 is oh man, it's a twin-stick shooter where stealth is encouraged, heavily encouraged, as you play this game. Although you can play it in a very run-and-gun, action-oriented type of way too, if you so desire. Or if that's foisted upon you, if you mess up the sneaking parts. It's story-driven. There will be upgrades that we can do for our characters, both in terms of the skills that they have and the equipment that we'll have access to. And I believe there's a New Game Plus, or it encourages you to play through the game again as you unlock different weapons, and maybe you want to try different things or try out different guns and for different levels that you had played before. It is a extraordinarily difficult game, one of the most difficult games I have played in terms of stealth and sneaking. And death happens very quickly in this game, which I'm sure we're going to see together, because I have yet to have beaten any mission in this game without dying at least like 20 times, with the exception of the first tutorial, where I think I died just 5 times the first time I did it. It is a very difficult game. We'll talk a little bit more about that just up ahead. I have played this game a little bit. It has been about 2.5 months, maybe 3 months, since I last played this game, so I will be a little rusty as we play this game together. The game is constantly getting patches, like almost every other day. There's some tweaks to the game in some fashion, so some things might have changed as well since the last time I have played this game. But I will not be going into this completely blind, nor am I a complete noob when I play this game. You won't believe that when you watch me play, but believe it or not, that will be the case. I got as far and beat the club mission, a mission which takes place during, like, in a club. So if you're familiar with the game story, that is, as far as I remember, as far as I got. I can't remember any other mission after that. So I didn't see any big plot twist which occurred. I'm assuming there is something which does happen in that regard, but I have not witnessed it, so just a heads up. For why we're playing this game together, I have greatly enjoyed this game. Although it is very difficult, and I have lost my temper numerous times for this game. In fact, I'm going to suggest that the game is very unfair at times. There are some mechanics that I don't like all that much. But by far, there is a lot here that I really like, and I thought it'd be fun to record it. Be aware, viewer, that I have in the past recording difficult games warned that we're probably going to lose, right? Cryptarch was a very difficult twin-stick shooter type of game where we actually won the first Cryptarch one I did on screen, but I swear I had failed in that game multiple times. This will not be like Cryptarch in that we are going to die a lot, and I may curse and swear when we play. Like, because I'm dying, not only because there's a lot of cursing and swearing in the game, which we'll cover just in another minute or two. Be aware that although I am going to be angry, I like this game a lot. Like, I love this. It's a phenomenal, really difficult game. But I have some ego and pride, which is bruised occasionally, so be aware. There may be a little more of Tim getting salty than normal, and I hate getting salty at games, but if I'm cursing and swearing, I guess sometimes it'll be at the game, and other times it's at my stupidity. Now, for Timisms for this game, first off, you guys should know I read everything, so we're gonna read everything on screen, all the text. The game's not narrated, it's all text here, and it is a story-driven game. There's going to be a lot of text to read here and there, so expect that. There is a lot of cursing in the text as well. This deals with some underhanded and, what's what I'm looking for? I can't think of what, some very shady individuals doing very dangerous things. Drug dealers, gangs, that sort of stuff. And there's a lot of language which takes place depending upon who's doing the talking and what have you. So expect lots of swearing in this playlist, viewer. From me, just in general, from failing things, and from the story itself. So be aware. I normally don't swear in games I play. That will not be the case for this one. A whole lot of it. I will be trying to explain game mechanics as we play. I will disable the tutorial pop-ups. And I do not like reading tutorials pop-ups when they occur. I will instead try to just quickly summarize what the game is telling you, as well as explain some of my own experiences with some of the game mechanics that might not have been explained to you otherwise. There was one... oh, okay, and one other thing really quick about this game. This game in particular, I really like this particular thing about Intravenous 2. You might remember that when we play through, like, Thief, that I limit the amount of saves I'm allowed to do as we play the levels to just 2. 1 in the middle of the mission somewhere, like after about 20 minutes or 30 minutes I can quick save, and then again at the end of the mission for, like, the Thief series, if I had to cut the recording because we had played for an hour. This game does that kind of automatically for you. You are limited to a certain number of saves during each mission, with more saves being unlocked as you adventure through or complete tasks. So I will not feel obligated to limit the amount of saves I have. The game's going to do that automatically. I will just have to strategically decide when I want to save the game. And with all that said, that's really all I think there is for Timisms too. I've already checked on my voice, and I believe it's coming out okay. That said, viewer, if you do notice things are a bit odd, or the volume levels could be tweaked a bit, let me know, and I'll make sure to adjust it for the next time I record. Barring any Windows updates that tweak volume levels on me, like as they often do. Anyway, I think that's it for the Timisms and what have you, so I'm going to put a small break here. Alright guys, it's a good thing I put a break there. I totally stumbled over myself trying to explain the game's difficulty and then going right into more tutorializing when we jumped into the game. We will do the tutorializing as we play, as opposed to, oh, you'll see in the introduction where you don't really get to appreciate it. Let's go ahead and start a new game. Apparently, at some point, there was another campaign added to this, because I swear to you, mercenarism, I don't ever remember seeing this here before. So it's going to be collateral for us. Enter the world of Intravenous 2 as Sean, a poor man turned conflicted hitman out of necessity. By following a personal moral code, Sean hopes to avoid harming people that have done no wrong. However, nothing is ever clear-cut in the world of hired killers, and Sean's inexperience and naivety leaves him blind to this. We can cover the differences between all these difficulty settings, viewer, but I don't think you particularly care. What you really care about is the difficulty we're going to play this on, which is going to be true difficulty. We could make our own difficulty, but we're not gonna. Let's do it. True to the original vision of the game, which is the developer's way of saying, this is the difficulty I designed the game for. Won't be easy. We get 3 slow-mo charges per level, falling bodies make noise, 3 save files per level, exploration grants fewer additional save files, enemies will notice missing people and patrols, enemies will return fire more often, everyone deals and receives 50% more damage, your health level influences your movement speed. Alright. There's more to it than this. A lot more about the stealth than just this, which we'll get into as we play. Let's go ahead and start. Intravenous 2 is a hardcore tactical stealth action game with heavy emphasis on stealth. Stealth is difficult, guns are not quiet and hit hard, and you can't have it all. It has been designed to provide a challenge and does not shy away from putting the player in unfair situations of his own doing. Intravenous 2 draws inspiration from games such as the first 3 Splinter Cell games, Dishonored 1 and 2, Deus Ex, Jagged Alliance 2, Insurgency, and Arma. Hope you enjoy this game. Sincerely, the developer. Alright. Let's do it. Empathetic's Restaurant, Part 1. April 18th, 1903, hour. Empathetic has no jobs for me. I ought to bounce. Nothing for me to do here. Really quick, our objective is that arrow. Our line of sight is this beam we see. The beam is kind of important. We'll talk about the beam a little more. You can disable the beam if you want a more immersive experience, but I find the beam is to be really important, so we will be leaving it on. Sean, how are things? Could be better. Empathetic's got no jobs I can justify taking. Really? You still need the cash? Yeah, real bad. Else that'll go blind. I might have something for you. Not an Empathetic's to-do list yet. No idea whether it'll be on there either. But if you take care of this guy, I'll pass the bounty your way. Sound good? You'll need to give me a little more than just that. Alright. Guy works construction, contractor, except he's not honest at all. Dodges taxes, scams people, spends the money on booze and strippers. All this moron cares about is his image. You know how it goes. Feels the need to impress his friends at the expense of unsuspecting folk. Scams people how? Imagine this. You need to repair your roof, so you come across this guy, sign a contract with him, pay him in advance, and then nothing happens for a while. Later, workers arrive, tear down your old roof, and then poof, he's gone again. Can't reach him. No materials to continue construction either, so you and the workers are in a shitty situation. You give him a couple of calls, shout at him over the phone, he sets things in motion, and finally work resumes. But then he disappears again, and this time he's not willing to do the things he's obliged to. At all. Fucker's sly, too. Does everything by the book so nothing sticks. People that had to deal with him got tired of the back and forth and constant lawyer visits. Had his teeth smashed in, so he got implants. Went right back to scamming people. A couple of weeks later, it turns out he suckers people into covered debts that are several months old, except the new victims that he finds aren't aware, so they fall for it. Again and again with the scams, the booze, strippers, and the debt. Rinse and repeat. So you tell me, what good do people like him bring to this world? Well, it's a little ironic to get all moral considering what we do, don't you think? What you and I do is different from what the others here are up to. You know that. So what'll it be? You up for it? Yeah, I'm in. Alright, I'll send you the details on this guy later. The pay is good considering how many people this guy's fucked over. They all pitch in or something? When the law can't do anything to this piece of shit, what do you think people are going to do? Right. Get this though. The guy's rented out a mansion while he's waiting for this shit to blow over. A mansion. Neck deep in debt and he rents a luxurious home. It's fine, I get it. I don't need more ammo to hate the guy. Yeah, I'm just saying. Guy must think he's gonna get off soon, then why not have it happen in luxury, eh? Spends his days like they're his last. Which they are. Sean's apartment, part 1. About 50 minutes later. Oh. Shit, where's the key to the door? Guess I'll just pick the lock. I have the tutorial pop-ups kind of disabled, so they'll show up, but they won't stop me from playing. I guess we'll talk about a few things that the game is indeed telling me about. I guess we'll have to do this now, viewer. There's no, I guess, better time to do it. Left-hand corner of the screen, lower section. Hit points is the red bar. Below that, I think, is our armor value. We currently are not wearing any armor. We have a brightness meter. Below that is currently really bright, because we are, after all, in front of that light right there. Below that is our noise meter. If we are louder than, I believe, that yellow square, we are in danger of being heard from people that are nearby. I think distance matters, according to that. Then we have, I think that symbol there is our chest, which I also think is relation to our armor and or health. Then we have a meter, an image, which shows us how fast we are moving, and a meter, which shows us the current movement amount we are saying we want to do by default by moving around. Lockpicking doors requires time. When you lockpick a door, home sweet home. If you lockpick a door to access what's on the other side of it, and a hostile opens that door, walks in and shuts it behind them, they will always relock the doors, which takes no time for them to do so, assuming they have the key. So you will have to repick the locks as a heads up to things that you open if you are being extremely stealthy. Light matters. We'll be looking to flip on or off lights all the time in this game. Enemies will notice doors being opened or shut. They will react to the doors that are open that should be shut. They will notice if lights are on or off as well. So you will need to balance or desire to not be detected by keeping things in the dark. But also balance the speed at which you need to do things. Like you turn off some lights, go into a room to get things done, leave and turn off the lights, or just rush through the room, turning off the lights so that you're not detected as you run through it. But the enemies notice the lights are off and go to investigate what's going on. Oh, and I have to be here for some reason. Oh, our computer. Got to wait for Lee to get on. Some of the guys spilled the beans on what's up. You know how it goes. Hyped up and wait for the guy to kick the bucket, so they call him and spew some vague one-liners. So this fucker knows now you're coming for him, and he's hired some armed thugs to keep himself safe for the time. Classic. Yeah, funny how someone in so much debt is capable of hiring a security detail, right? Anyway, the house he's rented is at a remote location. Frankly, that makes it better. Fewer witnesses. More wiggle room for you. I'll get there on sundown then. Yeah. Stay safe, Sean. I don't feel like picking every single door in my place. Better find the key. You do have an inventory. The more stuff you pick up, the slower you'll start to move and the more sounds you make. I do not know if keys actually contribute to the total amount you are carrying. It would not surprise me if they did. You guys know by now how much I enjoy shutting doors behind me in the games I play and walking everywhere. This game encourages you to do both those things, so of course it's another reason why I fell in love with the game pretty much immediately. Okay, we will cover this sometime in the future, but not right now. We're gonna go ahead and just know we're selecting Kelvar armor, so something very light that doesn't add a lot of noise factor. I guess we can cover this really quick. Our noise factor or mobility. Heavier armor decreases your mobility and increases your noise factor. So if you want to go light and stealth it, you're better off with either no armor whatsoever or just Kelvar. We don't have very many weapons here in this particular spot of ours, and it costs money to unlock all these other guns. So we are just going to be selecting the weapons that it wants us to select. we have a sword arm that should be here somewhere. Here it is. I think that's Smith & Wesson 4575. Compact and therefore enjoys employment by a multitude of thugs and criminals. This weapon is concealable. There will be some missions that we can carry weapons out. We can carry weapons on us, and as long as it's concealed, enemies will not suspect that we are currently armed and dangerous. Plus 35 carryable. I think that's the ammo we begin with, and it requires 0.45 ACP ammo. We can't do any modifications to the gun, I believe, at this moment, I think. Or can we? Let's see. Oh, okay, we can. So we can equip it with a threaded barrel. So we must have that already, so we'll go ahead and equip it. I guess we'll talk about this really quick, viewer, as well, as quick as I can. We'll get into this much more detail soon, because I want to get into the game, show you guys what it's like. You see the stats over there on the left? As we interact with things, it will impact what the weapon is, the stats it does over here, but only after it's equipped. This is a bit awkward because I can't see what, for example, the match barrel does by hovering over it. You actually have to purchase upgrades, and only then do you see the benefits that you do for them. But the threaded barrel is one we just have. Everything green is good, anything red is bad. So this is only, oh, just an upgrade, is that right? No, I'm sorry, no, I'm saying wrong. Things can be good or bad. We're gonna earn 2% damage per shot, so we do a little tiny bit more damage, but, well, no, I'm sorry, no, everything is good. Never mind, everything's good, ignore me. We also want a suppressor on this. Yes, green is good, red is bad. Suppressors reduce the amount of noise that the weapons emit. But keep in mind that this is like a real-life type of thing. The suppressor is not going to make our gun completely silent. In fact, odds are enemies will likely still notice us from quite a distance away. In this case, I'll just mention this and then we'll get going. Note the shot noise down here. When we fire this weapon, this is the range at which the weapon will be detectable by enemies on the map. 98 meters, which is, I think, about 100 yards. Maybe a little more than that, or a football field. An American football field. With the suppressor equipped, it's 47 meters. So about half a football field, or 50 yards, I think. I think a meter's about 3 feet, if I remember correctly. Maybe a little more, a little less. So it's still pretty loud. Keep that in mind when you're going to go ahead and be using these weapons like this. All right, I think everything else we have to pay for. We don't have any money. We have 0 cash. Let's go ahead and head back. We're going to bring, I guess, a HSR EMP. We don't have to bring any miscellaneous gear with us. It would take me some time to explain this, so I'll just skip it. Actually, in fact, everything else costs money, so we are basically done. Let's confirm and begin. We'll cover all of this in more depth later, viewer. I forget how you put things away. Weapons. That's going to be bad. I wish I remembered how to do that. Is it 2? No. 1? H. H is holster. Alright, well, that's all we have for this mission. Ourselves, the knowledge I have of what's coming up, a not very upgraded silenced pistol, and a weapon that can is effectively a very limited EMP, a targeted EMP device. We'll try to make sure I can use it at some point. Ever since I become the hired killer, Lida's always had my back. I didn't do it out of a luxurious lifestyle or some sick desire to kill people, no. The reason is much simpler than that. I needed the money for my dad's surgery. If we hadn't done it, he would have gone blind. That would have made both our lives more difficult, and I'd rather my dad see my kids someday. As for the hits themselves, I only took those which I could rationalize as making the world a better place. The way I saw it, if someone was a net negative to the lives of others, and they were untouchable by law, wouldn't it be better if that well of negativity disappeared? It's a naive way of looking at things, I know. Assumes you know what you're doing every time, and there's no possibility of you ever being wrong. But that's how I saw things for a while. It's how I rationalized doing what I did. Help my family, and rid the world of the people that aren't here to do good. Two birds, one stone. Right? Scammer's hideout. About an hour and a half later. I should take things slow and quiet. Don't know how many goons this guy has hired. Get inside the territory. Before we get going, viewer, something I want to stress now, and we'll talk about it again at the end of the mission. The game doesn't judge you based on how you want to do the missions. You don't have to stealth everything. In Thief, for example, on the higher difficulty levels, it prohibited you from knocking out a certain number of people beyond like 2, and you couldn't kill anyone. This game's not going to care what you decide to do. At least, not so... It's not so, direct about it. As such, if combat breaks out, and I feel that we should try it, we'll be in combat and do the best we can when we are detected. But when we play this game, viewer, we are once again allowed those limited saves, and I will reload saves if things go really poorly, or if I want to do a mission without being detected. So you should expect save scumming in this game. I do apologize, it's not something I like doing, but we will probably need to do it in this game, especially with the difficulty we're playing at. And with that said, let's go. We have night vision goggles. They work really well in the dark. They do not work very well when you're in a bright lit area. You can hop over certain walls. Low walls, you can jump through windows as well. The red beam there means I'm holding down the right mouse button, and I'm aiming high with the weapon. You can also aim low with the weapon. You do not have to hold down the right mouse button to fire your weapons. If you want headshots or would like, this is probably better, but if you don't care, you can just fire it right as you see here. Chain link fences like this one make noise. Notice that we can see through this, the beam emitting from our character. Notice that we can't see through the walls. We can't see through this. Enemies work the same way. Notice the bushes. We can see over the bushes, which means the enemies can do the same thing. We can also see through that chain link fence as well. If an enemy was over there, and they turn south, they might see us because they can see over this chain link fence, through this chain link fence, over the bushes, and through our chain link fence. But our darkness meter will reduce that chance. See, he was just looking down at us over here. We can go prone. We can still see through these things, but enemies will not see us. Notice the no vision there. What that means is that based on where he currently is located and the direction he's currently facing, he does not see you. That does not mean that if, like, he can't ever see you. If we were crouched and he couldn't see us here, walked into this little area, and that vanished, which it would do, he would see us. If I stand up right now, he will also see us. Ducking does not mean no enemy ever sees you. All that symbol once again means is that he currently, at that particular moment, will not notice you. Once again, when we pick locks or open a lock, if an enemy goes through that door and had the ability to unlock that door, they will always relock the door. You can break the locks, which actually takes less time than pick locking them, but it makes a sound as you shatter the lock. But then it will be permanently unlocked. We can smash windows to get into places, but that will create sound and enemies might investigate what is going on. We do have some magic powers in that we have the top-down view that a protagonist would not normally be able to have. We can go behind enemies, grab them from behind like Corvo from Dishonored, and choke them out. Enemies that are knocked out can be woken up by their allies if they find them. You can step on enemies' faces, curb stomp them to automatically kill them after you drag them off to some place. You are only allowed to carry one, I think, pistol and one primary weapon, like a shotgun, assault rifle, or SMG. If we want to pick up that gun, we have to drop our current silenced weapon. I forget how I do that. Oh! I did not know there was an option for slow-mo. I've never used it before in my life. As you just saw, I got an achievement. How about that? Okay, I'm learning something new, viewer. I thought slow-mo was something that automatically occurred. Okay, well, that was slow-mo, viewer. Apparently, we were allowed to use it 3 times, and we used it once right there. Is it G? It's not G. Oh, it is G. Okay, so G drops the weapon that we're currently carrying. So this HS-2000, I will drop it on the ground, and then we automatically go to our EMP as the next available weapon for us. Oh, I'm holding... Wait, what? Please pick up the weapon. Yes. Pick up. Is it the left button? It's not the left button. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's E to take. Now, I apologize, viewer, because I am taking our time at this. This is a tutorial level, so we're going to talk about a bit more of this stuff. At this moment, for the first, I think, 3 missions or so, enemies do not notice weapons that are lying on the ground. Later on, they will. It's one of the most annoying things in this game, because I cannot just pick up and pocket pistols. I have to drop the current pistol, and then go and grab the weapon that the guy who I just knocked out dropped, to move it away from them. It's very convoluted, and it is by far one of the... It is so annoying that the game does that. I wish enemies just didn't notice guns on the ground. At the moment, though, I will ignore them, worrying about it, because I don't have to worry about enemies noticing. I guess we can pick up a free shotgun. Let's see. We don't need the Kelvar. That's what we want. Now, we're carrying this weapon now, which means that we are weighed down a little more and will make more noise. Is there anything else there? That looks like an assault rifle or something, but it's not. Now, viewer, I have died in this tutorial. The very first time I did this, I died multiple times, like 5, 6 times. It is nothing in this game at the difficulty we're playing at is easy. Enemies at this difficulty level will notice when patrols are gone. If they had patrolled in an area earlier. So if we knock that guy out, and someone else was in an area that would have noticed him missing, like that guy, after maybe 2 to 5 minutes, that guy will be like, why is there a patrol missing? And he will permanently go on alert and begin looking around searching for you, telling everyone that something is wrong. So and then they go on alert. They're not actively running around looking for you, but they are walking around, maybe in groups, because they know something is up. Notice the windows over there on the right-hand side of this building. Someone could look out over here and possibly see me. Notice that the guy below us, the south guy who's just walked up here and stopped, his eyeball vanished for half a second. Which meant that he could have seen us. So I moved up just a hair to avoid that. Notice that we can't see through these. There's enough stuff on these shelves that no one can see through them. We'll take a Remington. Is that right? Browning? No, we have a Browning at the moment. Forged passports. We can find things that are worth some money. We're gonna want every single bit of cash we can get. I want to wait for this guy to walk out of the room so I can see if I can see through. Okay, we cannot see through this, which means he can't either. We should have gone right then. That window could be problematic. All it takes is for half a second for someone to notice you inside. Like, this guy turns around and looks through here. And we were like here, he would see us, and then combat would start. Oh, we have to pick this lock. So he's going to open this door, and we'll probably lock it again if he had a key on him to do so. There's going to be a lot of waiting around, viewer. I apologize for that, as I try to figure out when the best time to move would be. We could knock him out, but then they're going to notice him missing, so I'd rather not do that. I don't trust going in to the building from that side. Notice that see that for a split second, and there too. If he had looked over here, he might have seen us. You have to kind of gauge where you are in relation to the enemy's vision to see them. If they'll see you. Note this guy will come over here and look out the windows. It's been a while, viewer, but I do remember a little bit of this mission. Doesn't mean we're going to do well, though. And if we die, we're starting all over from here. Okay. I'm going to save the game. We have 4 saves allowed left in this mission. Now, we should be looking around to see if there's any more cash or passports or anything we can interact with here. It is difficult to recognize what you can and can't actually interact with, though. I see what looks like... And we can't zoom in to get a better view of what we might be able to take or not, either. We probably should have gone right then. This is the target. We're here to kill that guy. I probably don't need to indicate that if we kill a guy and the body's noticed, that is it. If blood is seen, enemies will follow blood trails also. We can get in the closets. They're generally safe places to be in. Enemies will very rarely, or at least they used to very rarely, search a closet. Such as the thing we're in in. Let's see if that's still the case. At least until there's an alarm going off, we should be completely safe here. There is a guy who patrols south up this way, just barely, but he does, and he might notice us in this window. If we turn off the lights, they'll notice the lights are off and come to investigate the room, turning it back on again. And if that happens too many times, if you turn off the lights and they come and turn it on, turn off the lights, turn it on, turn off the lights, turn it on, turn off the lights, they'll be like, what is going on? And they will then be alert also. That would have been when I wanted to go, but this guy is walking this way, so we have to wait here for a little longer. I think. Well, that's what we're going to do. Enemies sometimes get stuck on each other, opening and shutting doors. I have discovered at least one location where, and you, by the way, certain doors only open in a certain direction, and sometimes that can get you stuck. I was trapped behind a door and furniture and had to reload a save at one point in the game. What the? You're not one of the boys? Oh shit, you're here to kill me. I am? Well, that's interesting. What did you do to have someone hired to kill you? I didn't do nothing, man. Fuck. This is all just one big misunderstanding. Really? That why so many people are paying to have you dead? No. I didn't do anything. They're lying. They screwed me over and they're lying. These damn workers can never get shit done right, so no one ever pays in full. I ended up taking the fucking fall. You believe me, right? You want me to believe that a dozen people that have nothing in common except construction all conspired to fuck you over? Yes, that's exactly it. You wouldn't believe how they mess things up each time. Every time I find a new client, they just fuck it up. Every time. I'm knee-deep in debt because of these assholes. Sure, it didn't seem that way with how many armed dudes in a nice mansion you could afford. Yeah, no, I mean, fuck. You gotta believe me, man. It ain't my fault. Never is. Exfiltrate. Now, thankfully, no one can see through this window. For the most part. Let's check this really quick. Okay, yeah, no one can see through in here. So that is good. Take some compromising material for some cash. The game should also automatically save. remain open. It should automatically save when we kill the guy. Now, that's because the door was unlocked right there. And now he's like, what the heck? That door wasn't open before. The music changes to let you know that they're on patrol. It'll change again once combat starts. Okay, and he decided not to shut the door or investigate the lights that were off. This is bad. I don't know when I can actually move. I think we get seen. It has to be as he's moving south. We go. Now, he could see us, but we're in the dark reasonably well. I wouldn't mind searching this building. We haven't been in here yet. And I remember there being cash right there we want. That was us breaking the lock. It might sound very loud, but next time I do it, look over here at the sound of the noise meter. That's the actual amount of sound that is made by the things we are doing. By the way, when we drop to the ground, notice that we didn't make any sound there. But I'm going to move and drop to the ground. Notice all the noise we make. If you need to drop to the ground, go prone, don't move. So many times. So many times I have been moving as I drop to the ground. And have alerted the enemy that was right on the other side of me. I think we're about to be detected. Oh, we weren't seen by him. That was... I don't know why he didn't see us, viewer. He should have seen us. But I'm glad he didn't. That right there, that yellow eye was a... Is that someone? That was a... I don't think I recognize that guy. And thankfully, he didn't have a chance to really look at us more often. We got another save, viewer. We could actually look around this place a little more for more loot, but I think we will end it here. Now, heads up, we have more tutorializing to do in the next part. There will not be another mission. We're just going to be talking about weapon upgrades and what have you in the next part. Nice! Holy crap! I can't believe I did it without being detected. I think that's a first. It helped that I remembered a little bit of the layout of this of the tutorial. All right, not bad. Knocked out one enemy. One special activity. That was right there at the very end with the yellow eyeball, the guy who saw us. I do think it should be combat, quiet, stealth, and it should be... I don't know if careless is the right way to say that. It's once you're detected, it's... The whole map effectively goes aggro on you, and it's very difficult. Unlucky is what I would label this instead of careless, but whatever. All right, not bad. Let's continue. That was my third hit job. I got into this business not out of disdain for people or some other misanthropic reason. No, I did get money for the very expensive surgery that my dad would go blind without. With how hard he worked to keep me fed, I only felt obliged to. I took hit jobs that I personally could justify, some kind of criminal or outright danger to society that the law couldn't do anything about. Little did I know that mixing morals with wet work isn't exactly what you do if you don't want to paint a big target on your back. Empathetic's Restaurant Part 2, 14 days later. Got a new job? Yeah, some politician. Huh. And he fits your agenda? Yup. Guy's a piece of shit. You seen the contract? Nah, what's it say? It says he's part of some child trafficking ring. That alone is enough for me. Child trafficking, right under our noses. That's something. Pedophiles, fuck them. Huh. Look who's coming. Gentlemen. Struggling to earn a minimum wage, Sean? If you just throw your moral bullshit out the window, you'd make as much money as you wanted. Yet here you are, taking a grandstand. Whatever. I'm here to cash in my check-in. Guess you can't say the same, huh? Too busy trying to make ends meet with the scraps you earn? Don't let the door hit you on your way out, asshole. Fuck you, you little bitch. Afraid of spilling a little blood? Why are you even here? Who pissed in his slippers? Don't pay mind to him. It's just business and some people need to put on a show for their reputation. Fucker's gonna get what's coming to him one day, mark my words. So what's next? You gonna get to work? Yeah. Need to get ready. Take care, Lee. You too, kid. Gunsmith's Place, May 3rd, 3:30 p.m. What can I do for you today, Sean? Got a job. Need to get some work done on my piece. What happened to the last one you had? Lost it on my last job. Don't ask. Well, shit, you keep losing guns I work on and I might have to punish you with a higher rate. What, with you letting all my work go to waste like that, huh? Hey, business is business, right? If I lose a piece, that means you get more work. And I did pay for the tooling you did on my last gun. Relax, I was just butting your balls. What kind of work do you need done? Threaded barrel and the suppressor. That's it? No fancy sights and whatnot like last time? I don't have the dough for that now. Huh. What's that new job you got? Child trafficker. You know what? This one's on the house. Kids are sacred. You find any more of these fucks and I'll give you a bed-fed machine gun. Belt-fed machine gun. Thanks. Is there any way I can pay you back? Sure, by putting a bullet in that freak's skull. Besides that, well, if you happen to cross any schematics for some cool gun stuff, give them over. I'll replicate what's on them for free, and throw in a little extra for the trouble. Pretty selfless offer. Hey, I might be good with the milling machine, but some things are too intricate for little old me. With the right blueprints, though, you'd move my business forward, and get something out of it, too. Besides, what do you want me to do? Get a computer, learn engineering there, and spend my time researching what others have already done? Nah, no thanks. I'll ever spend that time perfecting my craft. I'll be sure to keep a lookout then. Least I can do. You got that right. Ain't the first time got you relying on my goodwill. And hey, fairly sure neither of us is comfortable with the idea of a child trafficker roaming the streets, huh? Okay, viewer. I'm gonna put a break here. I'm gonna try my best to explain guns. 1 second. Okay, first attempt. Here we go. you do not have to rebuy guns if you lose them in a mission. You might remember at the beginning of the last mission, I dropped our Smith & Wesson's 5.75 and took a different pistol. We could have kept that pistol the entire mission and left with it. And then, in between missions, we could have rechosen the Smith & Wesson 4.575 at no cost. Once you have left with a gun from a mission, or once you unlock, let me rephrase that, once you unlock a gun, either by finding it in a mission and carrying it out with you, or purchasing it through this screen, you will forever be able to have access to that gun during the loadout portion of the game. This is the same way for unlocks. For example, for our Smith & Wesson 4.575, it already has the threaded barrel and suppressor. We could unlock the suppressor and B, no booster, for example, if we wanted to. It would be forever, permanently unlocked for any of the weapons that it unlocks for at that point. That's a really stupid thing to say, I know what you're thinking, but look over here. We'll unlock for SNW 457, oh, S, not 4575, 457S. I want to find something that's not quite that. Here we go. The reflex sights. We'll unlock for sidearm 10 weapons. So more than just this gun. Pay attention to that, depending upon what type of guns you want to use. There is no way, though, for you to try out things before you go on a mission other than saving and loading. So, keep that in mind as well as you play the game. I'm going to generally be using Sean here as a stealth guy who uses this weapon only when things get really hot and heavy for him. Preferably, we will never need to use this, but I highly doubt that will end up being the case for us going forward. We can also switch to different types of, anyway, right now I'm just explaining guns. Okay. So there's all sorts of things different guns can have, as you can see here. You can also unlock different types of ammo for your weapons. Louder weapons, louder ammunition. I did not even realize that, this is a thing where different types of ammo affect the gun in different ways or something of that sort, but apparently, it is true, depending upon the gun and how it's modded and the type of ammunition you use, it really will affect the weapon in some way. I'm sure this is also all based on real-life stuff, based on what I've seen, but I don't understand any of this. I don't own any guns. I know I should... People tell me I should absolutely buy a gun and try it out. I have nothing against guns. I'm a super huge fan of the Second Amendment here in America. I just don't own a gun myself. I could never bring myself, I think, to really use one against someone. But that's a different topic for a different time. Anyway, once you unlock ammo, it unlocks that ammo for all weapons as well. So keep that in mind also. Generally, when I had played this in the past, I stuck to weapons that use a certain type of caliber. Now, unfortunately, you don't get to pick and choose the amount of ammo of different types you bring with you in a mission. You bring, to my recollection, only all of that ammo that the max carry you can have is always the ammo that you select. I do wish I could bring a little bit of match ammo and other regular ammo as opposed to only match ammo. So it's a little, I don't know. Or overpressure and match. I feel like it's split the amount of these I bring, but to my knowledge, that was not the case in the past. You also have presets, so as you upgrade this gun, maybe you have different ways you want to upgrade a gun, like super suppressed mode, or maybe one that's not quite super suppressed mode, and you don't feel like flipping back and forth between selecting each individual upgrade as you do it. Like maybe we have a Smith & Wesson with match and one with overpressure. You can manage presets and save them to certain spots as you like. So we can have one here and another over here as we go forward. But I will tend to not be having multiple presets for different guns. I will instead have a gun that is configured a certain way, and that will be what we bring with me. Is that it? I think so. So with that said, viewer, I'm going to configure this gun, but we're not going to do the next mission. We're going to stop I think right after we're done configuring the guns, right as we see the next cutscene. And we'll stop there. When we come back, we'll pick up where we left off. So let's go ahead and do some gun stuff. So, I will say this when it comes to weapons. You can unlock weapons by paying money for them. Some weapons must be found for you to unlock them. You can't purchase them at this screen. Most of the guns, I believe, you can find during a mission. So, I will not be purchasing any guns here. We either find them, or we don't. In other words, I'm not going to spend $2,000 to unlock the Model 700. We might find this weapon in a mission. Finally, by the way, for guns, you do have all of these statistics, which are things you can compare with other weapons. So, the B and T, I don't know what these companies are. VP9, for example, we can see it does 52 points of damage, as opposed to Smith & Wesson, which does 58.3. We can see the rounds per minute, accuracy penalties, penetration values, how much movement it affects us by, the volume of the rounds as they fire them and stuff of that sort. Looks like the Bet's a much quieter weapon. The B&T is a much more quiet weapon than our Smith & Wesson is. But this is what we started with. I'm going to continue to use this weapon for this guy. Alright, so with that said, let me go ahead and begin upgrading this. Now, Sean did mention that he doesn't have money for upgrades. Man, that's a lie. I'm going to spend if we're bringing a gun with us, as you know perhaps from other games I've played, I do not like going cheap. If we intend to use something, I want the best that I can get for that thing within a certain allowance. We have $3,100 so I'm not going to purchase the reflex sights for $2,500. I will, though, equip the glow sights, since apparently we have access to this without paying any money. Notice that here, we have to find a blueprint to unlock the ability to purchase these. When you find a blueprint in the game, you will also get a little bit of cash for it as well, to help reduce the cost of this, as we just talked to the gunsmith, and he told us that would be the case. Flared magwell will increase our loading speed by 8%. It's the only upgrade for the magwell that we will have. I'm going to take it. Oh, at the E, apparently. Oh, that's new. I think that's new. It is new. Oh, hey. In the past, I think, you automatically purchased upgrades if you left-clicked on them. I soon remember that being the case, so I like that there's this thing now where that's not the case if you accidentally click on something. We could get an extended magazine for this weapon, which gives us 4 more rounds in it. But if we're firing this gun, hopefully it's because we're killing people silently, not because we're in a bad firefight. So I don't think we'll take this. At least not at this moment. Laser pointers and infrared laser pointers. So, if we put a laser pointer on a gun, it must be activated to turn it on. Once it's on, your position will be noticed far faster. And if you're in a dark area, you will be noticed still for using it there. But your accuracy greatly improves if you use it. It is not seen by enemies if you use our infrared laser pointer. It is always on, I believe, as well, but you only gain the bonus if you're using night vision goggles. That's a bit tricky, because if you're having a firefight, for example, or it's a bright lit area, you're not going to benefit from this upgrade at all. But I do tend to like infrared laser pointers. Right now, though, I will not take it. Oh, nice. We can get a free custom fit grip. I'll take that. Well, it feels like I should take an infrared. Well, let's just go with that at the moment. Let's see what else we can take here in terms of our gear. This is really just, I think we have another chance to get gear before we get going on the next mission. But since we're talking about equipment, we'll cover some more things here. We're allowed up to 3 gadgets with us as well. In experience, so we didn't read this last time. H5R? HSR? EMP? An experimental military device used to create temporary malfunctions in small electronic devices. Can be used to disrupt flashlights and radios. It can also be used to disrupt cameras also, and normal lights. It doesn't add too much more noise. It is concealable as well, so we'll take this to start. A taser. So also note that some items you do have to pay for if you want to unlock them. Some things, by the way, may sound like a great idea, and they are, but if you use them and you were expecting, if you were expecting Dishonored in terms of what the AI does, you should probably be disappointed. The noisemaker, for example. You can throw it and then you can activate it to make it cause sounds to happen, and enemies will go and investigate that. But when they see this, they'll be like, what is that device? And they become suspicious. So it's useful to get past something at the cost of the alert level effectively increasing. Keep that in mind. Oh, we could get free Molotov cocktails, huh? Not concealable, though. Medkits are very nice. Also, a way to heal yourself. We'll take one of these. I think that's good. There's also just other stuff I want to buy, but at the moment, we should be okay with just after the next mission. I remember what the next mission is. We might not live in the next mission, but I remember it. Okay, so I think the game's automatically saved at this point. In fact, I'll hit F5. I think that's fine. All right, so thank you guys for watching. When we come back, we'll obviously pick up from here, and we'll do more of the story and do the next mission. And I'll see you guys then. Take care, everyone, and thanks for watching. Hope it's been fun. I'm surprised we didn't die. I fully expected to die at least once in the tutorial. I swear this is going to be like Cryptark. It's not going to be me prepping you guys that we're going to die over and over again, and I don't. No, that is not going to happen. Set your expectations low for how good we're going to do. Keep them low. Even if we do well next mission, keep them low. Please keep them low. All right, that's it. I'm babbling. Take care, everyone. Thanks again for watching.